This is how you are going to understand everything and anything in English, remember it and speak it. Hi everyone, my name is Shalima and welcome back to my another session of learning English and improving your English speaking skills with me. So today's session is going to be extremely important for everybody because I am going to tell you something that is important for all of you, all of the English learners, how to understand and remember everything in English. You might be reading a lot of things, listening a lot of material in English, but how to understand it? If you are listening to something that is at your level, at the level of your comfort, that means you are not interacting with new words, which means you are not, improving the level of your English. In order to do that, and you have to read difficult articles, stories, novels, whatever you are taking up to read or to listen, you have to take something where you are going some challenges, challenging words, phrases, something that you are not familiar with, so that you can improve your English. But constantly looking at the dictionary is a very big task. So how to understand everything naturally in English and then also remember it so that you can use it later on. So I am going to tell you everything in this video. So are you guys ready for this? If you are ready, please let me know in the comment section and please tell me that yes ma'am, yes ma'am, I am facing this problem. Alright. So before beginning, please subscribe to the channel so you can get all the lessons that I post for you on this channel, and please share my video to your friend, to your loved ones. Alright, so now coming back to today's video, how to understand everything and remember it. How to understand everything in English. Now, understanding means you are consuming some kind of English language. Consuming, that means input. There is English input. You are either reading or listening to English, or you might be watching some content in English again. If you are switching on the subtitles, that means you are engaging two different senses. You are reading the subtitles and listening to the content at the same time. But at the core of everything, you are engaged in two tasks, two skills of English language, and that's reading and listening. That is how you consume content in English and improve your English level with your speaking fluency. That is the most natural way of improving English. I have discussed it a lot with you guys, and you know that now when you are consuming the content, how to understand and remember it forever, because you might read it, you might know the meaning, and then you forget it. You are not able to use it afterwards whenever you are speaking, whenever you are writing something. And what is the purpose of learning English? What is the purpose of listening, reading so much content in English? So that you can improve while speaking English in a real life situation, while writing something that you are required to write, that means to be able to produce the language and you are consuming it. But the problem is a lot of time you are not able to understand half of the things, right? Correct? And then whatever you are able to understand, you are not able to use it. Am I right? Because you forget it. I'm going to tell you how to do that, understand each and everything that you are reading or listening, and then remember it so that you can use it when while you have to use. And if it is very important, let's begin with the complete plan that I have created for you. The complete plan, let's begin. So when we talk about understanding something, let's take the example of reading first. Then I will come to the listening too, because both of the things are really important. Now I am talking about reading something because that's important, and you have to read something in English in order to consume language, in order to understand a language. What you are supposed to do? Read and listen. Okay, Alright? So whenever you are reading a language or listening to it, you have to pay attention towards the context. I always tell you guys that a language is used in a context. Context is really crucial. Now context is something that is really important for any language in this world. And what is the language in uses, how the language is used in context, everything that is surrounded with the uses of a particular words or a particular phrase is context. It can be the situation you are using, it can be how you are forming a sentences with it, what kind of meaning you are using, because a word can differ in meanings, and that is the context. You have to understand the context, and if you understand the context, that is the most natural way to acquire a language. And when you acquire the language, naturally you are going to use it, because now you are not trying to remember things, you are not trying to cram up all the things, you are not doing the rote learning, you are not trying to speak sentences after reading and then not able to understand what is going on. You are not doing this. What you are doing is you are trying to understand the language in the most natural way possibly, just like a child. If he or she is learning his or her native language, you are replicating that kind of situation of yourself, and this is the best possible situation. And now what you are supposed to do, how to understand the context, how to understand it for this. And there is a very simple thing, guys. There are some steps that I am going to tell you. Now if you take up those steps, you will be able to understand the context, understand everything, and also remember it so that you can use it later on. So let's begin with the step number 1. So the step number 1 is to look for some context clues. You have to look for some context clues. Now what are the context clues? See, context clues are basically all the things that surrounded a particular word. For example, the sentences that you are using, sentences before that particular sentence or the sentence after that particular sentence. Alright, so now if you are watching something in English, let's assume if you are watching something in English, let's come to listen and watching. If you are watching something in English, understanding context becomes very easy because everything is visualized for you. When you are reading, you have to use your imaginations, right? When you are listening, you have to use your imaginations. But when you are watching something, you have the people are acting out there, right? And these are the things you can see. Setting, you can see the people, you can see the context, and you are visualizing. But that is half of the context. Half of the context is in the way that a particular word is used in a sentence, because you get half of the context visualized. It's very easy for you to understand the context at the time. When you are reading something, it's very important for you to understand the context through the context clues rather than directly jumping to the dictionary. Alright, when you are directly jump to a dictionary, what happens is your brain gets instant gratification. What is instant gratification? You must have heard about this word. That is when you do something that is easy for you, that is pleasing for you, your mind, and then the effect remains for just temporary time, for some temporary period of time, and that is instant gratification. And what happens is you get a confidence, okay, and this is the word, this is the meaning. I have looked at the word and this is meaning. Now I'll be able to read everything comfortably, or maybe listen to that particular podcast comfortably, and this is not the case. At that very moment you might understand the meaning of the word, but after that you will forget it and you will not be able to remember it. The biggest problem, guys, everyone faces, and that we are not able to remember anything, and that we learn in English. After some time we forget the words, and it is not coming to our mind, and we have learned so many words and we read them and we are able to recognize the words, and that we have learned, but using them is a big deal. is a big problem, and this is why the problem occurs, because you are trying to instantly look up for the meanings without any efforts from your side, or your brain gets meanings of that word in an isolated manner. That means the word is isolated, it's separated from the complete sentence, and you look at the meanings separately, not within the context, and this is creating a huge problem for you. So you have to look at the meaning of the word in context, rather than separating the meaning from the context. So do not do that. Do not isolate the word, isolate the phrases, keep everything within the context, and for that look for some context clues again. Now how to do it and how you are going to look for those context clues, it's very important. Let me give you an example, guys. She was feeling euphoric, and this is a particular word before euphoric, that is a feeling. Now through this we know it is an emotion. Euphoric is an emotion, right? And it's a feeling. She is experiencing some kind of euphoric, okay, emotions. Alright, and feeling is positive, and it's excitement. If you are getting selected somewhere, you will feel that happy out of that world, over the moon on the top of the world. Alright, in the seventh heaven, I can say, won't you? The same feeling for her. Euphoric is that happy feeling. Euphoric is that over the moon feeling for her. Now screening can be the audition. We are able to understand from this, because she is getting selected somewhere. That means the last stage of screening. Screening means a form of audition, or maybe some form of exam, or kind of something that she has to give a test, and that is she has to give a screening where people are going to get selected, and some people will not get opportunities. Selecting process. Now through this you know that how you understand any word through context clues. That we are able to understand the core of meaning of everything. We are able to understand the message here. Alright, and if you want to really look at the meaning, that also important to know how much accurate you are in understanding the word, in understanding the context. For that we have further steps. Now these further steps are going to solidify everything and make you remember this was the stage of understanding. So if you look at the context clues, you will be able to understand anything in English, anything that you are reading, anything that you are listening to. Some steps have to be followed while you are listening to something. Listen to it once again, repeatedly, okay? And if you are not able to understand a word, to listen to the whole sentence once again, rewind and listen again and try to analyze, and hence you will be able to understand. Now in order to remember everything, check your understanding. And guys, let's move to the stage number 2. So the stage number 2 is making notes and recording. Now what you are supposed to do is you have to make notes, and to make notes while you are understanding the context and everything. For example, you came across the word prospect, that what you are supposed to do is to take up any diary, any vocabulary journal of yours. Like I have my own journal. You can also have a journal. You have to create a diary where you can write the words, okay? So now what you can do is you create a column like context, close, and you can note down the things that you can relate to the particular word from the sentence. Now you can note down the complete sentence, or you can note down some words that you might think are meaningful related to this particular word. What can be the meaning? Note it down. Make notes. These notes will help you a lot, and it's also understand the context in a better way. And when you are looking for context clues, you will be able to get those clues in a better way, and you will be able to understand the clues in a better way, because everything is there in the written form, and you will be able to analyze everything, and that is important. And after analysis, what you are supposed to do is while you are recording it, while you are making notes, this step needs to be, repeated once again, and that I'm going to tell you how. But for now, these notes are that you are making, they are going to stay there with you, all right, and they are going to define the world for you in your mind. Everything is going to get fixed in your subconscious mind, all right, at the back of your subconscious mind. And what you are doing is you are feeding a lot of information to your brain related to that particular word, and which is very important. And you have, taken a word, for example, tremendous. She is doing tremendous hard work to get the promotion. So tremendous means extremely. You are able to understand she is doing tremendous hard work to get the promotion. Now for getting promotion, what a person will do? A lot of hard work, right? That means tremendous. Tremendous means with a lot of intensity, of a lot of kind of very much extremely, and you are able to understand the word. Now you can write that tremendous, promotion, hard work. That means extreme, extremely, and whatever meaning you can understand, you can write. So that, you have to make some notes while doing it, and you can understand it in a better way. When you make notes, everything get, solidifying here, and your subconscious mind is able to grasp the ideas, the concept in a better way, in a way where you will be, able to use it, because you will be able to remember it, and it's not on the outer surface of your memory. You are trying to absorb everything for a long run, not the outer surface, but everything in the context, like I have told you. Okay, so it's very important for you to make those notes while you are looking for the context clues, while you come to the conclusion of what you can understand and what you cannot understand. Now let's talk about the step number 3. So there is to use online dictionaries, and check now what you are supposed to do. Once you understand the context, you can, you do not it after every sentence. Okay, suppose you are going for reading one page and you have to do everything that I have told you, and you are at the step number 1 and step number 2 for the complete page. If you come across 10 words, you are supposed to do it for those 10 words. If you come across 15 words, you are supposed to do it for 15 words. When you are, done with your reading or listening, you are listening to something when you are done. Okay, with it done. All the words that you come across, done, clues done, and making the notes about this, about them. Now is the time to, you have to check the proper meaning and write down the again in your vocabulary diary or the journal. Like I have told you, step number 2, that you will get repeated again. I have told you that before in the previous step. Now this is the time where you have to repeat the step number 2. And here what you have to do, making notes. That is how you are going to make notes, and you are going to use online dictionary, because you can also hear the pronunciation. You can learn about various contexts in which this word can be used. Alright, for example, this word can be used as a verb and this word can be used as adverb. And there are a lot of words which can be used in a different way. For example, the word record. Record means a written information about something that is kept for a long period of time. So that is record. Now record is to record, to capture everything, that is an action. And that's a verb. The first one was noun and this is a verb, and this manner a word can be differ in its meanings. Also in it is in context, and a kind of a word becomes whether a noun, verb or adverb, or it can be adjective, everything. So when you are using an online dictionary, you will be able to understand all of these components all together. Now if you are somewhere where you can't access your phone, your internet is not allowed for, like your internet is not working. For example, in a lot of college or classes, using phone is prohibited a lot of time. If you are in such setting, you need to keep that pocket dictionary. You can keep Oxford pocket dictionary. I used to do that a lot of time when I was in school. Okay, and because similar thing had happened at the time, I remember when I was in school, I always used to keep that pocket dictionary and Oxford pocket dictionary, and I have always used to recheck all the meanings of the words that I could come across after my English classes, because when I was just learning the Julius Caesar or Macbeth story, so for that I need to check all the words. So I remember that, and it used to help me a lot, and this is something that you can do, keeping that Oxford English dictionary with you if you are a student, if you are at a school, so you can keep it. Alright guys, I have also created a video on this, which kind of dictionary you can download. So I will give you the link in description, so from where you can just watch that video and you will get the things. Alright, now how much accurate they are, and now the note down the correct meaning, the accurate meaning of it. I'm sure guys 80 to 85 of the times you are going to be accurate, because you are not just guessing it. It's not hit and trial. Okay, I have guessed this, maybe this is a correct I have guessed, or maybe that correct understanding if you are looking at the context clues. So you are trying to understand and then you are coming to a conclusion. Okay, that means you are going to be almost correct a lot of time. It helps, context clues, they helps you a lot. Now let's talk about the step number 4. So the step number 4, this is a particular process that is revise, because this is the last step. Focus on the remembering of the thing that you have understood everything, and 50% of the work is already done. In order to remember that, because you are doing work in a very solidified manner and you are not doing it on the surface level, but it's a deep work you have done with your English language learning. Now after this deep work to be done with it, and keeping it aside is not the solution, that you have to also revise it for time to time. You can revise it after 10 days, after 7 days, after 20 days, after 5 days, as per your timings. I'm not saying that you have to revise it after every 2 days. That is fixed time. That is not a fixed time. I'm just telling you that as per your time, as per your schedule, as per your convenient, you can revise. Because guys, do you remember when we are in the school and after the syllabus has done, teacher has start the revision work, right? So we just revise everything about our syllabus, right? So from there I just thought that I just keep this idea for this. All right, so your mind constantly with the words, to the context clues, everything that you are required to remember the word, right? So in the long run, and then to be able to use it. This is a beneficial for you to revise it from time to time and revise it. But if you have learned a word and you made the notes, for example, you are doing it on the day number 1 and you need to revise it within the next 15 days, that means within those 2 weeks, revise any period, more chances of forgetting the word, right? So the forgetting everything that you have learned, and if you are skipping the revision part for 1 month, you would have to do a lot more work again. When you are revising, you might need to pay more attention towards everything. But if you are revising everything within after first 20-15 days, means everything is fresh for you and you are creating another layer of information. So that you are doing is you are creating one layer of more information, another layer of information, another layer of information when you are revise it. For that, the 4th time, another layer of information, and through this you are creating a very thick form of information, kind of, you can say, storage of information where you cannot forget it. It will not vanish with this time. All right, because now everything is solidified, it's there with you, and you have created so many multiple layers of understanding and a particular thing, a particular word, a particular phrase, a particular sentences, there is no chances of forgetting, right? That word, that phrase, that sentence, when there is no chance of forgetting, is there with you. It's easier for you to use it, to speak it, and this is how you are going to understand and remember everything in English. And this is how you are going to understand everything and then remember it in English, understand everything in English. Alright, so I think guys, that's it for today's video. And if you like the video, please let me know in the comment section that you like my videos, and you can share my videos, the person who wants this stuff, who wants to improve their English. Alright, and if you like the video, please give thumbs up, because some of the people don't like and they are disliking the videos. That's not good, because we people are also doing a hard work for you, right? We are just taking a time for you to creating these type of videos for you, for your convenience, for your, like, if you are not paying money to any institution, right? And still you are getting the content of English. So that is also a big deal, and the people are creating for you and you are disliking the videos. That's not good thing, right? If you are a good person, please give one thumbs up and comment down in a comment section. Alright, so thanks for watching. Bye bye, take care.